Now, I really dragged the chain on setting this machine up. Some machines I can't get set up quickly enough. Others like this one, I'm not too fast. The reason being was simply that I wasn't a massive fan of vertical leg presses. The vertical leg press is pretty rare in gyms these days. I had only ever tried them a handful of times in my many years of training, and to be honest, never really had a great experience. I guess it was in a gym environment where there was multiple exercise options for legs, and I never really took the time to master the technique. And I stopped training in gyms 20 years ago when I started this business, so this is the first time I've ever had a vertical leg press where I've had some quality time to spend on it and learn this niche exercise. Another reason for my hesitancy was that it is a polarizing exercise. Some old school bodybuilders absolutely swear by it, while others say it can be dangerous. So in these instances, I like to do my own research, and one of the first videos I watched on the vertical leg press was by Flex Lewis.
6 seconds with Flex, and today we're actually doing the vertical leg press. A lot of gyms don't have this machine. For me, when I actually opened up Project Flex, this is one of the first pieces that I sought after. I also see a lot of people doing the wrong form in this. So putting my body into the machine, making sure my hips are firmly in. I see a lot of people bringing their hips right up when they're doing this. So again, finding the range, knees slightly out of chest range, feet in a good position. And as soon as you lift this up, you know you're in a strong position. Because if your feet are too far forward or too far back, you would know. I know that I'm going up and down straight at this point in time. So coming down, throwing your knees out past your chest, full range of motion. As opposed to what I see a lot of people doing here, this is a full range. Again, keeping your back on the pad, not lifting your ass. And that is a perfect rep.
So the reason I just showed this video was because on these controversial machines like this and Smith machines, we'll always get some negative comments. An expert will claim you'll become a paraplegic or something from doing vertical leg presses. So I just thought we'd get an expert opinion and you can verify Flex's qualifications. So I just thought it'd be handy to see what they thought of this exercise. And the other reason why I showed that video was because it is really important to get the correct form. With the correct form, you'll not require as much weight and you'll significantly reduce the chances of the injuries that these naysayers will be warning you about. Now, back to this machine. So now we've finally got the machine up and running. It has wormed its way into my leg training. And I can honestly say that this is a truly unique leg exercise. And as can be seen in Flex's video, a vertical leg press can be a fairly big unit. However, ATX have managed to make a quality vertical leg press all in a 192 by 111 centimeter footprint. The design is simple, but they've got the backrest and the foot plate angle spot on. The foot plate is 70 centimeters wide and 37 centimeters deep, which allows you to get that wide foot position. It runs up and down on 25mm chrome guide rails, and it's nice and smooth thanks to linear bearings. The start-stop mechanism is similar to what you'll see on a 45-degree leg press machine. Just lift it up, give it a twist. There's 2 start-stop positions, which suits practically everyone. Plus below you've got these adjustable safety stops which have 4 height positions. Now, getting in and out of it the first couple of times is ugly, but once you learn how to grab on this little handy welded rod on the foot plate, you'll start to look a lot more graceful and it's a lot easier. The backrest is nice and beefy, so it gives you plenty of cushioning when you're lifting heavy. And as mentioned previously, it is on the perfect angle, so you don't have to mess around with any adjustments. Now, the machine is rated for 350 kilos, but the weight horns, they're only 30 centimeters. So unless you have powerlifting plates, I think you'll struggle to fit that much on. There's also the little stumpy weight horn that you can fit some plates on. But ultimately, if you're using proper form like Flex Lewis, I am sure that most of you out there will not need more plate loading space. You may lift a certain amount of weight on a 45-degree leg press, but that will not translate into a similar lift on this machine. The load is moved vertically, so you'll find the same weight a lot heavier on a vertical leg press as you would on a 45-degree leg press. If you do need to add more resistance, the easiest and cheapest way will be to use the resistance band pegs. Now, this machine is definitely not for everyone. It would not be my first pick out of the ATX leg machine range. If you're a fan of old school bodybuilding and familiar with the vertical leg press exercise, then this is perfect. A vertical leg press can be made on the cheap, but have a look at them and you won't have to look too hard to see that they'll feel rubbish and quite possibly deadly under a decent weight. Unfortunately, if you want quality, you're up for some money. But when you look at it, anything under $2,000, which this is at the moment, for a good quality leg machine is very good value these days. Lee rates the movement highly too.
I said the Panada one's probably 3 times this size.
Yeah.
And like I said, this works twice as good, so it doesn't prove that.
Three times the size and probably close to 10 times the price.
Easy. Panada gear.
The other time I would recommend this machine would be that if you had a space that was not quite big enough for another leg machine, its footprint is quite unique compared to other leg machines. It's shallow but wide. If you already had a couple of other leg machines in your gym and you wanted to add some variety to the leg training, then as I said before, this is a truly unique exercise. Personally, I worked it in at the end of my leg workout, so I'd warm up with leg curls, leg extensions, then some of the compact leg press, some Nordic curls, and then I'll throw some vertical leg press at the end. Now, using lighter weights with higher reps, it really exhausts the whole legs. So I'd also strongly recommend getting this machine instead of a cheap leg press or hack squat if you're looking at those. Aside from the quality issues on those cheap machines, many of them have range of motion issues or they're just poor biomechanics. But if you're building a gym or studio, I'd probably definitely recommend getting the compact leg press or one of the belt squat machines, a leg press or squat machine as the first leg machine purchase. This is more so if you're buying online and can't check it out in person. The options I listed are just more universally popular than the vertical leg press. But who knows, maybe with quality vertical leg presses available at such a good price, but most importantly, if people start using the correct form, the vertical leg press exercise might experience a comeback in popularity.